Welcome back to the Power of You Summit. I am your host, Phyllis King, and here we are talking to 13 experts in the field of personal and spiritual growth and health and wellness. And today we are speaking to an amazing expert, Terri Terwilleger. And let me just give you a bit of her story, and then we'll bring her on. Because 10 years ago, after leaving a career in public education, uh, Terri decided to earn a certification as an intuitive life coach, and she went into private practice to use her practical and compassionate wisdom, as she calls it, that she's gained through all of her experiences to help others. And she's been doing that ever since. And part of her story is a challenging one. She not only had an aggressive case of breast cancer and healed and recovered from that, went through a painful divorce, ultimately remarried to what she truly believed was her soulmate, and he passed to cancer. But through all these experiences, she repeatedly discovered a secret. And that secret was a beautiful life was still available to her despite her hardships and pain. Well, Terri, welcome to the summit. Thank you for being here. That is quite a story.
Thank you, Phyllis.
It is,
It
yeah.
It
It's a
is.
wonderful story. I mean, it's what I always refer to as the PhD program. Uh,
For
but
sure.
yeah, so it would be wonderful for the listeners to hear from your words, not from a piece of paper I'm reading from, your evolution from working public school to deciding to go into private practice and this desire to serve more in a different way than you had been. So share a little bit of that with us, if you would.
Okay. Well, I have always been uplifting others, and I didn't realize that. I mean, started back in middle school, high school, college. I always wanted to help people, and
Hmm.
people came to me with their problems. And um, so I've always been doing it. After college, I got married and had 4 kids, was raising 4 kids. And at
That's
the
a
age
lot of kids.
it's a lot. At the age of 31, my mom died
Oh,
suddenly, and it was such a shock. It was so devastating. And I started asking questions like, where did she go? What happens when we
hmm.
die? I wasn't sure. And so I just dove into books and cassette tapes. That shows my age.
Cassettes. Can you
And
remember
just,
cassettes? Oh my
yeah,
goodness. Okay.
started listening to and reading and learning that we are spiritual beings in these human bodies, and that she didn't die, that her spirit lived on. And that was so comforting. So, went along living my life, worked in a really busy middle school, um, went for a routine mammogram and totally shocked. Got this diagnosis of breast cancer. It was the most aggressive cancer that you can get. And so I went through chemo, radiation, lost all of my hair. It was still continued to work during the entire time.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know how I did it,
I don't know either.
but I did, and I never thought my hair would grow back. It's those little things. But that was just a huge wake up call.
Wow.
Like, what if I died?
Oh,
What if that killed me? I felt like there was something that I was missing. There was something I hadn't lived. It's not like I didn't live. I raised these amazing kids, but I felt like there was something just missing. And so I finally admitted something that I had told no one. I kept it deep down inside, that I was not happily married. And that was a big thing to admit for me. So we got divorced, and I'm happy to say we are friends now, which is
wonderful.
amazing. It's amazing. But we went our separate ways. And that's when I took your life coaching course. I did it more to find myself to to look for answers. I had no intention of being an intuitive life coach, none. But I was just trying to find myself. And in doing that, I realized this is what I've been doing naturally my whole life.
Wow.
And so I dove into that. And I thought that losing my mom, the breast cancer, and the divorce was the hardest, scariest, most overwhelming, challenging things for me to go through until I met Dave. um, he was my soulmate. He was the male version of me. And our really close friends called us the power couple
Wow.
because we had these dreams to help people together as a team. And I was never going to get married. He knew that. And one day he proposed, like out of the blue. And it was like, hell yeah, I'll marry you. Yeah, I'm choosing you the rest of my life.
Wow.
And so we got married, and it was amazing and wonderful. And a year and a half into our marriage, he was a big meditator, and one morning he saw a spot on his lungs. So he went to the doctor, and they diagnosed him with stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh my gosh.
It was that progressed.
Wow.
It was devastating. And about 9 months later, he passed away.
Wow.
And it was, oh my gosh, excruciating pain. But he was a business person. He had his own business. And he didn't train me on anything because he was away at an alternative clinic getting the chemo. And we thought he was going to be able to heal from it. He didn't. But he left me just a mess of business things for me to deal with. Then the day after he died, my really good friend Tammy was sitting next to me at his computer teaching me QuickBooks because I had to keep this restaurant open because of contracts the restaurant had. And I had to do payroll. I had to order food. I had to pay bills. I had to close another restaurant we were going to open. I ran into bullies. I had to get lawyers. I don't know how I got through it, but between the grief and trying to figure out how he was thinking and, and running his business and trying to find paperwork, it was overwhelming. But I'm happy to say it's been 2 years and 7 months, and I'm doing incredible. And I'm here. I've got a smile on my face. And I'm so proud of myself for having gone through that and kind of gotten to the other side. I still have the grief, of course. I'll always miss him, but I'm really just proud of myself for getting to this point right now.
Wow. I
So,
mean, your story is remarkable and tragic and inspiring and incredible on so many levels. And the fact that you have come to this place of peace and you've found your power. I mean, of course, you should be proud of yourself, but you know some things. And if anybody knows about power, it sounds like you know about power. So talk to the listeners, the viewers about power, what it means, how you find it, how you survive, all these things, anything that occurs to you around that topic.
okay. Well, you know, because I believe that we are spiritual beings in these human bodies, I also believe that, and it's out there for some people, but I believe we choose our families, our life lessons, our challenges before we get here. And because of that, it helped me not be a victim in losing Dave. And it helped give me this power to move forward because my soul clearly knew I could handle it. And so it just helped me feel more powerful. And, we've got these angels and guides that are with us all the time. And they're with us from the time we're born until the time we die. And they want to help us, but we have to ask. I believe we need to ask for their help and their support. And, I'm always calling them in every day, hundreds of angels to support me and guide me and bring to me the other human angels on this earth. So that's really helped
Well, and I
inspire
guess
me.
when I hear your reply to that, it's remarkable to me how much hope and optimism and gratitude you have for life and seeing the beauty on so many levels.
Yes,
Is
yes,
that part of the path to continue to see the beauty, or I mean, would you say
abs-
that's true?
absolutely. So I encourage all of my clients to do gratitude journals.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, when you're grateful, you're focusing on what you have, not on what you don't have.
Mhm.
And I've got one, and it's kind of a diary. And
Mhm.
so you go through your day, and when you've got to write down 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for at the end of the day, you're looking for reasons during the day. And you focus on the positive, like,
Mhm.
someone's nice to you in the grocery store, or,
Mhm.
buys you coffee or whatever. And you're like, I got to remember that for my gratitude journal,
Mhm.
And so, yeah, being grateful for every moment. Like,
Mhm.
we're alive. Dave would give anything to be alive and on
Mhm.
this journey with me. So it's celebrating each moment that we're here.
Well, and I love this whole idea about gratitude, which I too love to practice that in my life. But it really sounds like you have a deep um, or a vision of life that helps everything make sense. And you can see the value of all your experiences. Was that always the case, or did that take some practice?
I've always been optimistic. I'm a Sag. We're known to be optimistic. But, I got to admit, sometimes I felt like, what the heck, with all these life lessons that I've run into. But it's just easier to be grateful. The
Mm-hmm.
universe loves a grateful heart, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's just a happier way to be.
Yes. And it sort of begets more. Well, I mean, you're really quite a testament, and not to put any pressure on you or at any way, but you really are an incredible example of how we can be our best no matter what. I mean, you really have set an incredible standard. Well, in this summit, you're giving the listeners and viewers something extraordinary, and what an incredible opportunity. Please share with the listeners and viewers what that gift is, and it's only for Power of You listeners.
Yes, it's I'm giving for the first 10 people that go to my website and contact me a free 30-minute session with me with I do angel cards and intuition and numerology in my readings, my sessions. And so the first 10 people.
Yes, that's an extraordinary gift. I mean, because you're gifting your time, and you obviously have enormous wisdom and just the kindest heart. I mean, I don't know that it gets any better than that.
Thank you.
Well, tell everyone how they can reach you. Let us know your website, and I know on the Power of You site there'll be plenty of links to your website and your free gift. But tell them specifically how they can contact you.
Okay. Well, my website is lovinyourlife.net. So it's LOVINYOURLIFE.net. And scroll down, contact me. It'll send an immediate email. And I would love to work with whoever wants some help and support, because I've been through a lot of, and a lot that I didn't even share that
Yeah.
I got the wisdom to help
Well,
out.
it's obvious. It's obvious just from your presence and your demeanor. It's apparent that you can do a lot of good for people, and people would be fortunate to have to work with you. And thank you so much for an extraordinary gift. I mean, that's just extraordinary, and you've done that to support this effort of the Power of You Summit. So thank you so much for that. So in our remaining moments, Terry, is there anything else you'd like to say or share or comment upon?
I just want people to believe that life doesn't have to be so hard.
Hmm.
And it's really just tweaking how they are looking at life,
Mm-hmm.
how they're thinking,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of changes their perception. And I, I've got a lot of wisdom to share. And so would love to help whoever needs the help.
Well, thank you so much for that. And you are truly an inspiration and remarkable in every way. And I just thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Terri Terwilleger, thanks again.
Thanks, Phyllis.